Hey there, my name is Michael Blank, apartment building investor. I get a lot of questions about, hey, Michael, I hear you talking in your book, Financial Freedom with Real Estate Investing about this law of the first deal. I get it. And you also say that within 2 or 3 deals, people have achieved their freedom number, which is essentially the number where they're covering their living expenses. Now, how is that even possible? How can I quit my job with just 3 deals? Like, help me understand that. So let's break this down because I'm an analytical guy and really break down the numbers. The way you do it really is you have to understand 2 things. One is the progression of deals. So the first deal is going to take the longest, is the hardest to do, and it's almost always the smallest. So here's the progression of deals. 2, 10, 30, 50 plus, okay? Something like that. And so you pick your favorite entry point. If you're a high income earner, you may not start with a duplex. You might start with a 20 unit. Okay, so it would be 20, 50 plus, let's say. So this is the progression. That's the first thing you have to understand. The second one is you have to see, well, how much money per month is each unit generating? Okay, if I knew the per unit cash flow number, I could then take my freedom number, let's say it's $5,000, and I could divide that into that, and I would know how many units I need. All right, so that's really the basic gist of it. Now, you need a strong financial model to do that. If you already have the syndicated deal analyzer, that's great. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it in a second. If not, you can create your own or just purchase a syndicated deal analyzer for $129. It's the best and most widely used financial analysis tool for multifamily right now. So let me show you right now, and let's break this down and get very, very specific about how many units you need to quit your job, the methodology, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you can do it and how few properties you need to actually get the job done. So let's go do a screen share here and show you a spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 deals, okay? 3 deals that we've done recently, and looking at the pro forma of these deals and really breaking it down. So this is the syndicated deal analyzer. I'm not going to go into detail here. I'm just going to show you the returns tab. The returns tab breaks down the acquisition fees, cash flow, and the profit at the end. So we're in the manager cash flows here. So these deals are 70-30 splits, meaning 70% goes to the investors, 30% goes to you. Now, obviously, if you're using your own money, the numbers I'm about to show you are much, much higher. But I'm just going to show you some averages here, okay? So for this one right here, this is year 1, okay, year 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm taking that entire, I'm taking the acquisition fees and the cash flows, and I'm going to total that up and then divide it by the number of units, in this case of 321 units, and I'm going to divide that by 12 months. So I get an average of $36 per unit per month. And I'm just going to do that throughout every single year. In the second year, I have cash flow, I have asset management fees, but I don't have an acquisition fee. And at the end, I actually have some profit at the end. So the last year is going to be really high. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing these numbers, and then here I have the average. So you can see the average is $46 per unit per month. Now let me show you just a few other ones so that you can kind of get an average here. Here's another deal. This is a 112 unit deal. And the average here is a little higher. It's about $85 per unit per month. Let's look at one other one. This is a 168 unit. And we're looking at $53. Again, it's higher. It's going to be higher in the front because of the acquisition fee, and it's going to be higher at the end because of the profit. But the average here is 53. All right, we got 53. Then we have 85. That's a little higher there. And then we have another one at like 46. Okay, so let's just say average of, let's say, 50, just for easy numbers. So average cash flow per unit per month is $50. Now I'm gonna say that we're buying stuff where the average price per unit is $50,000, and I'll show you why in a second. So let's assume that your first deal is a 20 unit. Okay, now again, you could do the same thing with a duplex and a 10plex, but here's the methodology. So my first deal is 20 units. So the cash flow is going to be $50 per unit, right? Times 20 is $1,000 per month. Now, the value of that 20 units, say, is $1 million. That's an average of $50,000 per unit. So the acquisition fees are going to be 3% of that typically, and I'm adding that into that number because you're going to get a large acquisition fee at front. So you're going to get a $30,000 acquisition fee plus $1,000 a month of cash flow. So that's $30,000 times $1,000 per month is $12,000 is $42,000 a year. Okay, so off a single 20 unit, and this again, this is syndicated, meaning that you have investors in the deal. If you don't have investors in the deal, this number is going to be much, much larger. But I'm assuming that you're raising the money. Okay. So the next deal you do is not going to be a 20 unit. It's going to be a 50 unit. That's going to generate $2,500 of cash flow per month, $75,000 in acquisition fees, and $105,000 that first year. Okay, so now you can see that second deal, you're already up at $2,500 a month. So now you're making $3,500. Now the third deal is going to be larger. Okay, once you've done a 50 unit deal, you're not doing another 50 unit, and this is just the way it goes. It's the progressional law of the first deal. You're going to do 100 unit. So within 3 deals, you're controlling 170 units. Again, you're syndicating it. You have $8,500 in cash flow. You've had $255,000 in acquisition fees. And the power of the acquisition fees is because it gives you a runway, right? So let's say you have $5,000 per month in your financial freedom number. Well, these acquisition fees now fund your runway. And so this is why people oftentimes quit their jobs before they actually have the monthly cash flow coming in because of the acquisition fees. So it's very, very powerful. So this is how you can quit your job with just 3 multifamily deals. Leverage the law of the first deal, get your first deal done, and then your second will follow in automatic, rapid succession, always going to be bigger. And so the progression is 2, 10, 20, 50, and 100. Pick your favorite entry point. Assume about $50 per month, average per unit per month, and cash flow, and don't forget the acquisition fees as well. So that's how you do it. Grab your syndicated deal analyzer and crunch some numbers and figure out how many units you need to own as well. All right, thanks for listening. Make sure you grab my free ebook right here. Grab that next video, and I will catch you on the next episode.